Okay, good morning. I am going to let you know that we're going to see some changes with the I-9 and E-Verify through the onboarding site. Back in October, Infor contacted us to let us know that they are decommissioning the E-Verify I-9 piece through onboarding, and that they have contracted with a third-party vendor called Tracker. So what that will do for us, for the new hire, the look and feel will be the same. It's going to impact our I-9 approvers, more of how they get to approve Section 2 of the I-9. We're still working with Infor and Tracker to kind of get some information back and forth to them. So I'm not sure exactly how it's going to look for the I-9 approver yet. We're still trying to figure out how it's going to work. Hopefully we can do some kind of single sign-on through the manager console in onboarding, that they can just click on the Tracker link. It'll take them to Tracker and let them sign in and approve the I-9. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have access to the Tracker website. We can start some testing. We'll start putting some training materials together, and then start passing that information out to you all so that you'll know what's going on. Infor's hoping that they'd like to have this implemented by the end of July, beginning of August, and that's provided everything goes smoothly with testing and all that good stuff. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'll turn it over to Bill.
All right, thanks, Sharon. Just wanted to let you guys know the spring road shows that we've been conducting are now wrapping up, and we're starting to make plans for fall, which will be August through October approximately. We currently have plans for the Department of Agriculture, the Developmental Center, and Gunnison Prison, and DWS Brigham City. What I wanted you guys to maybe give me some feedback on other locations. If you have any suggestions on a road show or a location that you'd want us to come and do a retirement road show, will you send me an email and just let me know, and I'll let my staff know and we can get that coordinated. So send me an email if you've got any requests. I'll turn it over to Bart.
All right. Hello, everybody. Debbie asked if we could, and there's a limited amount of time left, which is great actually for me, but Debbie asked if we could just give some brief information and training on HR data, and I wanted to just let you know there are a couple of things that are going on. I just got back from a conference that I attended last week. That the entire conference was dedicated to HR data and human resource management technology systems. It was a really good conference, and it was interesting to hear the things that are going on out there. There were people there both from the private sector as well as from other government organizations, and it was interesting to see the trend, especially in the private sector. They're definitely getting into a lot more forecastive types of things. Government, as always, is a little bit behind in the trend, but they're definitely starting to get into those types of things. And as we look at what the governor's office wants with our throughput operating strategies, the baseline data that agencies are being asked to give in order to get those strategies underway, there's no question in my mind that HR data is going to be a part of the discussion. And you know, this is nothing new. You're all used to that, your customer agencies asking for data, and particularly when it pertains to human resources. But I think a lot of those things were probably, what is going to be new is probably the level of detail that they are asking for, and some of the new questions that they might be asking. So there's a poll that you should see on your screen, and I wanted you to just start off with this, and just by answering, which one of the following reasons to analyze HR data does your customer agency seem to use most often? I know they probably use all of those reasons and probably other reasons that aren't listed, but if you would take just a minute and answer which one of those that are listed do you think your agency seems to use most often, and then submit that. I'll give you a minute to answer that, and then we'll go ahead and display the results on the screen. Okay, like 0% said improve employee performance, 46% responded making educated business decisions, 8% on drive innovation, 15% responded to organizational change, and 31% to address turnover concerns. So it looks like our top reasons here are making educated business decisions and to address turnover concerns. So it's interesting to see, and I thought it might be interesting to you to see the data on of those reasons, and like I say, I know there's a bunch of other reasons, but of those reasons, these seems to be the hot topics right now in our different agencies, making educated business decisions and addressing turnover concerns. So the question that I would ask and just want you to think about is, are we collecting the right information to be able to help our agencies with those things? And I think in many instances we are, and I think there are probably ways that we can improve that. In order to help make educated business decisions, I'd imagine that your customer agencies probably collect some of that information and rely on you for the HR-related information. But what I'm hoping is that we can start to really champion a culture where in our customer agencies as well as in our field offices that we're really helping folks to collect the right information up front so that we can make those educated business decisions. And if we're not doing that, figure out which kind of questions your agencies might want to answer and then ask them, are you collecting the information you need to make those decisions? Can we help, and how can we do that? What are those questions that you're going to ask? So similar to turnover concerns. I wanted to show you an example of some ways that we can present data just to get the creative juices flowing as well. And I sent that in an email out to you because I've seen sometimes animated stuff over webinar software just because the connection doesn't seem to work very well. So if you'd take just a minute and click on that link that I sent to you in the email, this is an example of dashboard data that can be really helpful. Now, this is ARMS data. It shows how the United States compares to other countries in exports for military arms. And so if you look at that, you'll be able to see just in a matter of a few seconds just how telling that is and how much the United States stands out in that area. There are things, we've got ways and tools that we can use up here to help you present information in a way that might be a lot more compelling to your customers. And that's just one, I think, really clear and compelling example, the ARMS example. We've got the software and the tools to be able to produce a dashboard just like that. And so I wanted to just get your creative juices flowing on how you might be able to incorporate that with your customers. Can we put the next poll question up, Angela? So if your executive director asked for data, just tell us how much you agree with that question. Whether you strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. If your executive director asked for data, I don't think the entire question came through here. If your executive director asked for data about the quality of hires, I know that's not typed into the question, but quality of hires, you'd be able to respond confidently and timely with accurate information. Give you just a second to put in your responses. So we've got a good number that agree, none that strongly disagree, so that's good. 46% disagree. And then the rest you can see are either in the strongly agree or agree. So this is good information for me because I think that means we can probably do something as a data team to help you get better information about quality of hires. That was one thing that popped in my head that I thought, I don't think we really have a good way to go back to our executive directors and say, here's exactly how good the hires are that are coming out of DHRM. Let's put the next poll question up, Angela. I believe my customer agency or agencies support an HR data-driven environment to make decisions. If you just let us know how much you agree with that statement. All right, and then let's look at the results for that. They're still answering. Okay. Finish off with this question. I realize we're hitting right up against 9 o'clock. So these are great results. Most of you agree that your customer agencies support an HR data-driven environment to make decisions. So I think those two pieces of data that we just got just from this poll give a really good story. Our customer agencies really support that environment, and yet I think there are certain aspects of the data that we don't feel super comfortable about being able to give them. So what I'd like you to do is just think about some of the things and ways that you'd be able to, that you would love to be able to support your organizations data-wise that we really don't have. You're not super confident that we have the tools right now to be able to do that. Maybe we're not gathering the right data, maybe we don't have the right tools, or you're not aware of the right tools to be able to display that data and make it as compelling as possible. And then let me know. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we would love to be able to help you even more on some of this as we get into being able to forecast and help our agencies meet their throughput operating strategies. If there are any questions on this, go ahead and feel free to type those in. Be happy to answer those. Otherwise, I think we're finished up. Any questions coming in, Angela? All right. Well, thanks everyone for. Oh, there is one. Okay, so this one will be for Rick. So I'll pass this over to Rick.
All right, this is Rick here. There was a question here, so you have to hear from me again, unfortunately. But there was a question: what about training on developing interview questions? That is a darn good question. We think that will be certainly part of that basic recruiting course that we intend to offer for our HR analysts. That'll be an element of that. I think we'll also see in that classification and job position analysis training that interview questions will probably naturally evolve from that process as well, so that we'll really hit on that in the basic recruiting course. So we do appreciate your bringing that to our attention. And by all means, if you have any other ideas for training, even specific things like this, we want to hear them, because we do want to make sure that we address those items in the programs that we develop. So thank you. And I think, are there any other questions, Angela? Well, that appears to be it. So I guess we will close the webinar now. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Can we get copies of the key slide, the key slides for the webinar? Well, yes, the key ones, yes, but the non-key ones, no. Mine weren't the key ones, right? Yes, I think we will be sending a copy of the slideshow out to you all. So thank you for that question. Any other matter? All right, going, gone. Hey, have a good day, a good week, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for attending.